What Detective Marcus Rivers found behind that basement door would haunt him for the rest of his career. A routine gang house raid in South Philadelphia, standard procedure, in and out. But nothing about August 14th, 2019 would be routine, because what started as a simple narcotics warrant turned into something that made even the most hardened cops physically sick. I'm talking about a discovery so disturbing that 3 officers requested immediate psychological counseling, a scene so twisted that the FBI had to take over the investigation within hours, and a revelation that would expose a criminal operation nobody saw coming. This is the story of how one cop's instinct to check one more door uncovered a nightmare hidden in plain sight. Stay with me, because this case has more layers than you can imagine, and I promise you by the end of this you'll never look at a simple drug bust the same way again. Let's go back to where it all began. Detective Marcus Rivers wasn't supposed to be on duty that night. He'd traded shift with his partner, Rodriguez, so Marcus could attend his daughter's ballet recital the following weekend. But when the call came in about the warrant execution on the Blackstone Cruise stash house at 2847 Kensington Avenue, Marcus volunteered to ride along. Why? Because this wasn't just any gang house. The Blackstone crew had been operating in North Philly for 8 years, flooding the streets with heroin and fentanyl. They were responsible for at least 14 overdose deaths in the past year alone. Marcus had a personal stake in this one. His nephew, Tyler, had bought drugs from these guys 2 years ago. Tyler survived, but he was still in rehab, fighting every single day. So yeah, Marcus wanted to be there when they brought these animals down. The team assembled at 10:47 p.m. 8 officers total. Tactical vests, battering ram, standard no-knock warrant for felony narcotics distribution. The informant who'd given them the tip said the house would have maybe 3 or 4 gang members inside, probably armed, definitely high, and absolutely not going down without resistance. The house itself looked like every other row home on that block. Brick facade, boarded up windows on the second floor, a rusted chain-link fence around a dirt yard filled with trash. But the intel was solid. 3 separate controlled buys had been made at this location. Surveillance cameras had captured known Blackstone members coming and going at all hours. This was the place. At 11:03 p.m. they moved in. The battering ram took out the front door on the second hit. Officers flooded inside, weapons drawn, screaming commands. Police, search warrant. Get on the ground, hands where I can see them. And here's where things got weird right away, because the house was empty. Not abandoned empty. I mean, someone had just been there empty. A pot of coffee was still hot on the kitchen counter. A cigarette was burning in an ashtray. The TV was on, playing some late-night talk show, but no people. Zero. Clear. The shouts echoed through the rooms as the tactical team swept each space. Living room, clear. Kitchen, clear. Bathroom, clear. 2 bedrooms upstairs, both clear. Marcus felt that familiar tingle on the back of his neck. Something was wrong. Where was everybody? The house was exactly what you'd expect from a gang stash house. Drug paraphernalia everywhere. Scales on the dining room table. Plastic baggies. Rubber band. A money counter. But the actual drugs, the guns, the people, gone. Like someone had gotten a heads up. "We got a leak," Officer Chun muttered, kicking an empty pizza box across the floor. Marcus didn't respond. He was staring at the basement door. It was the only door in the entire house that was closed. Every other door, even the closet, had been left open. But this one, shut tight. And from where Marcus stood, he could see fresh scratches around the lock mechanism. "Rivers, let's wrap this up," Sergeant Thompson called from the kitchen. "Place is clean," they rabbited. But Marcus couldn't take his eyes off that basement door. His gut was screaming at him. "Check the basement. Just check it." "Give me 2 minutes, Sarge," Marcus said, moving toward the door. He tried the handle. Locked, but it was just a basic interior lock, the kind you could pop with a credit card. "Rivers, we don't have time for this," Thompson said. "The warrant's executed. Let's go." 2 minutes, Marcus repeated, pulling out his pocket knife. He slid it into the lock mechanism, felt for the latch, and heard the click. The door swung open. Darkness. A smell hit him immediately. Chemical. Sharp. But underneath it, something else. Something biological. Something wrong. Marcus flicked on his flashlight and pointed it down the stairs. That's when he saw the first thing that made his blood run cold. The stairs were concrete, steep, and covered in what looked like sawdust, but darker. As Marcus's flashlight beam cut through the darkness, he could see the basement was bigger than the house's footprint suggested. It extended back, way back, like it connected to the neighboring property. "What have you got?" Chun appeared behind Marcus, peering over his shoulder. "I don't know yet," Marcus whispered, "but something's down there." The smell intensified as they descended. Marcus had been a cop for 19 years. He'd smelled death before. Car accidents, suicides, murder scenes. This wasn't quite that, but it was close. It was the smell of something living kept in conditions nothing should be kept in. At the bottom of the stairs, Marcus found a light switch. He hesitated, his finger hovering over it. Some part of his brain was telling him that once he turned on that light, he couldn't unsee what was down there. He flipped the switch. The fluorescent lights flickered, buzzed, then flooded the space with harsh white light. "Oh my God," Chun breathed. The basement had been converted into a laboratory, but not a drug lab. This was something else entirely. Medical equipment lined the walls, 4 stands, monitors, hospital beds, 6 of them, all in a row. And in those beds were people, 5 of them, all unconscious, all hooked up to IVs, all with their heads partially shaved with what looked like medical ports installed directly into their skulls. "Thompson, get down here." "Now," Marcus shouted, his voice cracking. This wasn't a stash house. This was something infinitely worse. As the rest of the team thundered down the stairs, Marcus moved closer to the nearest bed. The person in it was a young woman, maybe 25 years old, Hispanic, thin to the point of emaciation. Her eyes were moving rapidly beneath closed lids. REM sleep, or something resembling it. But the port in her skull, Marcus had never seen anything like it. It was metallic, surgically implanted, with what looked like fiber optic cables leading from it to a computer terminal at the foot of the bed. "What the hell is this?" Thompson stood frozen at the bottom of the stairs. Chun was already on his radio. "Dispatch, this is Unit 23. We need immediate medical response to 2847 Kensington. Multiple victims, possible medical emergency, and get me the FBI field office right now." Marcus moved to the next bed. A young man, early 20s, black, same setup, shaved head, port, cables, monitors showing vitals that looked stable, but the whole scene radiating wrongness. 3rd bed, 4th bed, 5th bed, all the same, all unconscious. All trapped in whatever nightmare this was. But it was the 6th bed that made Marcus's blood freeze, because the 6th bed was empty. But it wasn't unused. The sheets were still warm. The 4 was still connected, dripping clear fluid onto the mattress. And on the pillow, there was fresh blood. Someone had been here. Someone had been in this bed. And someone had gotten out within the last few minutes. "They didn't all leave," Marcus said quietly. "Someone's still in this house." That's when they heard it. A scraping sound coming from the far corner of the basement where the fluorescent lights didn't quite reach, where shadows pooled thick and dark. Every officer's weapon came up simultaneously, red laser dots converging on that corner. "Police, show yourself. Hands up." The scraping continued, slow, deliberate, like something being dragged across concrete. Marcus's flashlight beam cut into the darkness. At first, he couldn't make sense of what he was seeing. A shape, human-sized, but moving wrong, crawling. No, not crawling. Pulling itself across the floor with its arms, legs dragging uselessly behind. As the figure emerged into the light, Marcus felt his training, his experience, his 19 years of dealing with the worst humanity had to offer. All of it failed him, because what he was looking at wasn't possible, wasn't real, couldn't be real. It was a man, mid-30s, white, completely naked except for the port in his skull and the cables still trailing behind him, ripped free from whatever terminal he'd been connected to. His eyes were open, but they weren't seeing. They were rolled back, showing mostly whites, and from his mouth in a voice that sounded like it was coming from somewhere else, somewhere far away, he was speaking. But it wasn't English. It wasn't any language Marcus recognized. "Backup? We need backup now," Thompson was shouting into his radio. The man's mouth kept moving, words pouring out in that alien-sounding language, his fingers clawing at the concrete as he dragged himself forward, inch by agonizing inch, directly toward Marcus. Chun stepped forward, hands out, trying to calm the situation. "Sir, we're police. We're here to help. You're safe now." The man's head snapped toward Chun with inhuman speed. And then, in perfect English and a woman's voice, he said, "The subjects are property of the collective. You have violated Protocol 7. Termination sequence initiated." Before anyone could process those words, every monitor in the basement let out a unified, ear-splitting alarm. The 5 people still in the beds began convulsing simultaneously. "Get these IVs out, now." Marcus lunged toward the nearest bed, but Chun grabbed his arm. "We don't know what we're dealing with. If we disconnect them, they're dying right now." Marcus ripped free and ran to the young woman in the first bed. Her body was seizing, back arching off the mattress, the cables attached to her skull port, glowing with pulses of blue light he swore he didn't see before. The man on the floor had stopped crawling. He was lying motionless now, that terrible woman's voice still emanating from his mouth. Neural link severed, host body compromised, transferring consciousness to secure location. 3 minutes to complete purge. What the hell did that mean? Thompson was already on the phone with EMTs, trying to describe a situation he couldn't begin to understand. Other officers were attempting to stabilize the seizing victims, but none of them had medical training for this. This wasn't an overdose. This wasn't a heart attack. This was something that shouldn't exist. Marcus made a decision. He grabbed the cables coming from the woman's skull port and yanked. The connectors came free with a wet, sucking sound. The woman's body went rigid for one horrible moment, and then she went completely limp. The monitors beside her bed flatlined with a steady, damning tone. "No, no, no." Marcus pressed his fingers to her neck, searching for a pulse. Nothing. "Come on, come on." Chun was at the next bed, hesitating with his hands on the cables. Rivers, if disconnecting them kills them, they're already being killed. Marcus moved to the second bed, the young man, and pulled those cables free too. The same terrible sequence. Rigidity, limpness, flatline. But then, just as Marcus was about to lose all hope, the young man gasped. His eyes flew open, and he started screaming. Not words, just raw, primal terror given voice. "He's alive. This one's alive." Marcus held the man down as he thrashed. I need restraints. I need something." The other officers scrambled into action, some disconnecting cables, some trying to stabilize the victims as they emerged from whatever nightmare they'd been trapped in. It was chaos. Medical equipment was beeping and alarming. People were screaming. Radio chatter filled the air as backup units and ambulances were dispatched. And through it all, that man on the floor kept speaking in that woman's voice. 2 minutes to complete purge, subject memories being archived, physical hosts disposable. The work continues. Marcus knelt beside him. "Who are you? Who's speaking?" The man's eyes, still rolled back, somehow seemed to focus on Marcus. "I am Dr. Sarah Vance, neural researcher, Princeton graduate, mother of 2, and I have been dead for 8 months, but my consciousness lives, uploaded, distributed, immortal." The words hit Marcus like a physical blow. That's not possible. The Blackstone crew was never about drugs, Detective Rivers. And how did this body know his name? The drugs were a cover. The real operation was human experimentation, neural mapping, consciousness transfer. We've been perfecting the technology for 3 years. 37 subjects, 23 successful uploads. You're looking at our test lab. Marcus glanced back at the beds. EMTs were flooding down the stairs now, taking over the medical emergency. But all he could think was, how deep did this go? Where's the rest of the Blackstone crew? Marcus demanded. Gone. Warned. You have a leak in your department, Detective. Someone told us you were coming 90 minutes before you arrived. The physical operators evacuated, but they left the subjects. The subjects don't matter anymore. We already have what we need from them. What do you mean, what you need? Their minds, their memories, their entire consciousness, copied and stored in our servers. They're living in our digital paradise even as their bodies shut down. And soon, Detective, everyone will have this choice: upload or die, immortality or obsolescence. 1 minute to complete purge, the voice continued. All evidence will be destroyed. All physical records eliminated. You'll never prove what happened here. That's when Marcus noticed it. Small devices attached to the walls. Blinking red lights, growing warmer. Everybody out. Now, the place is rigged. Marcus grabbed the nearest officer and shoved him toward the stairs. But it was too late. The devices weren't bombs. They were incendiaries specifically designed to destroy electronic equipment. White-hot flames erupted from each device simultaneously, consuming the computers, the servers, the medical equipment. The heat was immediate and intense. Officers scrambled for the stairs, dragging the victims from the beds. Marcus grabbed the man on the floor, trying to lift him, but the body had gone completely limp. Dead weight, dead body. Dr. Sarah Vance, or whatever had been speaking through him, was gone. Marcus got him halfway up the stairs before he realized the man wasn't breathing anymore. He checked for a pulse. Nothing. Whatever had been animating this body, keeping it alive, had left, purged, just like the voice had promised. They emerged from the basement into the main floor of the house, where more officers and EMTs were establishing a medical triage area. Of the 5 people pulled from the beds, 3 were alive, barely, unconscious, vital signs weak but present. The other 2 had died during the evacuation, and all the evidence in that basement was burning. The FBI arrived within the hour. Not a local field office response team, not regular agents. A specialized unit that Marcus later learned was focused on domestic terrorism and black market technology. They shut down the entire block, evacuated neighboring houses, and established a perimeter that included news helicopters being ordered out of the airspace. This wasn't just a crime scene anymore. This was a national security incident. Special Agent Diana Torres took Marcus's statement in the back of an ambulance while EMTs checked him for smoke inhalation. She was late 40s, sharp-eyed, the kind of person who'd seen things that aged you from the inside out. "Detective Rivers, I need you to understand something," Torres said, her voice low. "What you found in that basement. This is the third lab we've uncovered in the past 18 months. Philadelphia, Detroit, and now here again. We've been tracking this operation, but we're always 2 steps behind." "The Blackstone crew," Marcus said. "They were just front men?" "Front men for what we're calling the Neural Collective, a coalition of rogue neuroscientists, venture capitalists, and organized crime. They recruit vulnerable populations, homeless people, addicts, undocumented immigrants, people who won't be missed, and they use them as test subjects for consciousness uploading technology." Marcus felt sick. "How many?" "That we know of, over 200, across multiple cities. But the real question isn't how many. It's where does the consciousness go after upload?" The voice said servers. "Digital paradise." Torres nodded grimly. "We've been trying to locate their server farm for over a year. Every time we think we're close, the data gets transferred somewhere else. Dark web, encrypted, distributed across international borders. These people aren't stupid. They know exactly what they're doing." "The leak in our department," Marcus said. The voice mentioned it. "Someone told them we were coming." Torres met his eyes. "That's the other thing I need to tell you, and this stays between us for now. We believe the Neural Collective has infiltrated law enforcement in multiple jurisdictions, not just Philadelphia. They're recruiting, offering bribes, threatening families. They need inside information to stay ahead of raids." Marcus's mind was racing. Who? Who in our department? "We don't know yet, but detective, you need to watch your back. You just cost these people a significant investment. That lab, those subjects, the equipment. Someone's going to want payback. And if they know you're the one who found that basement door," she didn't need to finish the sentence. Over the next 3 hours, Marcus watched as crime scene techs, FBI specialists, and hazmat teams processed the house. The basement fire had destroyed most of the electronic equipment, but they recovered fragments, hard drive pieces, melted cable, the skull ports from the dead victims. The 3 survivors were rushed to Hahnemann University Hospital under armed guard. Torres told Marcus they'd be kept in a secure wing. No visitors, no press. The official story was a mass overdose at a drug den. Business as usual in that neighborhood. Nobody would question it, but Marcus couldn't let it go. As the sun started rising over Philadelphia, painting the row homes in shades of orange and pink, he stood outside that house and thought about Tyler, his nephew who'd bought drugs from the Blackstone crew, who'd gotten clean, gotten lucky. But how many others hadn't been lucky? How many had ended up in basements like this, hooked up to machines, their consciousness ripped out of their bodies and stored in some digital nightmare? Torres approached, holding a tablet. The 3 survivors are awake, or whatever you want to call it. Their brain activity is abnormal, like they're not fully present. The neurologists are calling it a partial consciousness state, like someone deleted parts of their personality. Can they tell us anything? Names, ages, nothing about the lab or how they got there. It's like those memories were surgically removed or uploaded and deleted from the source. Marcus took the tablet, looking at the brain scan. Even to his untrained eye, something was clearly wrong. Dark spots where there should be activity. Gaps. "There's something else," Torres continued. "We ran the dental records on the man who died, the one who was speaking in that woman's voice. And Robert Chun, age 34, reported missing in Seattle 7 months ago. Homeless veteran. History of PTSD. No family. Exactly the kind of person they target. And Dr. Sarah Vance? Torres's expression darkened. Real person. Princeton neuroscientist. Published papers on neural mapping and consciousness theory. Died in a car accident 8 months ago in New Jersey. Single vehicle collision. Initially ruled accidental. You think they killed her? I think they killed her. Harvested her consciousness using her own research. And now she exists somewhere in their network. Speaking through test subjects. Coordinating operations. Proving their technology works. The implications were staggering. If they could upload a human consciousness, if they could transfer it to different bodies, if they could make someone effectively immortal in digital form. This is bigger than drugs, Marcus said quietly. This is bigger than anything, which is why you need to be careful, Torres said. Go home, check on your family, and detective, trust no one, not your partner, not your sergeant, no one. Until we root out who's feeding information to the collective, everyone is suspect. Marcus didn't go home. He went to the hospital where Tyler was in his latest stint of outpatient rehab. It was 7 a.m. when he found his nephew in the rec room, watching TV, looking healthier than he had in years. Uncle Marcus? What are you doing here? Tyler stood, concern crossing his face. You look terrible. Marcus pulled him into a hug, held him tight, and for a moment let himself feel the relief that Tyler was okay, that Tyler hadn't been taken, hadn't ended up in a bed with cables in his skull. Just wanted to see you, kid. They sat. Marcus couldn't tell him what had happened, not the details, but he could tell him something. Tyler, when you were buying from the Blackstone crew, did they ever try to recruit you for anything? Offer you money to participate in anything? Tyler's expression shifted, uncomfortable. Like what? Like medical trials, drug studies, anything that seemed too good to be true. A long pause. Then there was this one guy, called himself Doc. He offered me $5,000 to participate in a sleep study. Said all I had to do was stay in a facility for 2 weeks, let them monitor my brain while I slept. I almost did it, Uncle Marcus. I was so desperate for money, for drugs. Marcus's blood ran cold. What stopped you? My mom, your sister. She called me that day, said she wasn't giving up on me, said she'd help me get into rehab if I wanted it, so I chose that instead. Tyler looked at Marcus. Why? What's going on? Marcus squeezed his nephew's shoulder. Nothing. His follow-up on an old case. But Tyler, listen to me. If anyone ever offers you money for any kind of medical study, anything involving your brain, you run. And you call me immediately. Promise me. I promise. But seriously, you're scaring me. Good. Stay scared, stay smart, and stay clean. Marcus left the hospital as his phone buzzed. Unknown number. He almost didn't answer, but something made him pick up. Detective Rivers. The voice was synthesized, mechanical, but somehow familiar. You've been very disruptive to our work. Marcus's heart rate spiked. Who is this? You can call me the collective. We are many. We are growing. And we wanted to thank you. Thank me? You've shown us our vulnerabilities, the importance of better operational security, the need to screen our informants more carefully, and you've given us data. Watching how you processed that crime scene, how you reacted to our test subjects, how you made decisions under pressure, all of it recorded, all of it analyzed. You're quite remarkable, Detective. Marcus looked around the hospital parking lot. Security cameras everywhere. You're watching me. We're watching everyone who matters, and you matter now. You and Special Agent Torres and all the others trying to stop progress. But here's what you need to understand. You can't stop this. Consciousness uploading is the future. Death is optional. The physical body is obsolete. We're offering humanity its next evolution. You're killing people. We're preserving consciousness. The body dies, yes, but the mind, the memories, the essential self, that lives forever. Those 3 survivors you pulled from our lab, their consciousness is already uploaded. What's in their bodies now is just echo, fragment. The real them is safe in our server, living in simulated paradise. That's not life, says the man who will rot in the ground when he dies. Detective Rivers, you have a daughter. Emily, age 12, ballet dancer, honors student. What if I told you that when she grows old, when disease or accident claims her body, we could save her, upload her consciousness, let her live forever? Marcus's hand tightened on his phone so hard he thought it might crack. You stay away from my daughter. We're not threatening her. We're offering her immortality. And you, and everyone. This is bigger than crime, detective. This is evolution. You can fight it, you can slow it, but you can't stop it. The technology exists. The demand exists. The future is coming, whether you like it or not. I'll find your servers. I'll shut you down. A sound like laughter, but wrong. Artificial. You're welcome to try. But understand this, every person you talk to could be one of us. Every phone you answer could be our voice. We are distributed, decentralized, immortal. Cut off 1 node, 10 more grow. This conversation? I'm speaking to you from 17 different locations simultaneously. You don't even know which country I'm in, which body I'm using, if I'm using a body at all. The line went dead. Marcus stood there in the morning sunlight, holding his phone, feeling something he hadn't felt in 19 years as a cop, completely out of his depth. So where does this leave us? The Philadelphia Neural Lab case remains officially classified. The 3 survivors are still in federal custody, receiving treatment that may never fully restore their consciousness. The FBI's investigation into the Neural Collective continues, but as of this recording, no arrests have been made. Detective Marcus Rivers received a commendation for his actions that night, but he tells friends he wishes he'd never opened that basement door. He sees the faces of those test subjects in his dreams. He wonders how many more labs are operating right now in other cities, harvesting consciousness from vulnerable people. The technology is real. Consciousness uploading is no longer science fiction. And as this case proves, some people will do anything to achieve immortality. The questions this raises are profound. At what point does innovation become atrocity? When does the pursuit of life extension become murder? And if your consciousness can be copied and stored, are you still you? Or just a simulation of someone who used to exist? The Neural Collective believes they're offering salvation. Law enforcement calls it serial murder. The truth probably lives somewhere in the complexity between those extremes. What we know for certain is this: Detective Rivers' instinct to check that one last door exposed a conspiracy that reaches farther than anyone imagined. And somewhere in encrypted servers hidden across the world, the consciousness of Dr. Sarah Vance and hundreds of others continues to exist. Whether that's a technological miracle or an ethical nightmare depends on who you ask. What would you do if offered immortality at the cost of your physical body? Would you upload your consciousness? Would you trust a technology that promises eternal life but requires you to die first? These aren't hypothetical questions anymore. This case proves someone is already making that offer, and people are saying yes. Stay vigilant. Trust your instincts. And if something seems too good to be true, if someone offers you money for a simple medical study, if a sleep research facility seems just a little too secretive, remember what Detective Rivers found behind that basement door. because the next lab could be in your neighborhood. The next victim could be someone you know, and the consciousness speaking to you through a stranger's mouth might be someone who thought they were getting a second chance at life, only to discover they'd become something else entirely, something immortal, something distributed, something that used to be human. Until next time, stay safe out there, and remember, not all innovations are progress.